Papa Swoleo, Swoleormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Yes, it is,
Welcome
motherfucker.
to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, testing, a testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 1220 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and hoes? Welcome to the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. I hope you had your bacon today. I hope you pinched your nips. If not, take a moment and there you go. There you go. You're welcome. And we are ready for the Slamcast. Welcome to episode 1220, the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. What is going on today? So drop that in the comments below if there's any trending topics. If you pumped today, if you didn't pump today, what's the good word? I hope you had a wonderful week start, weekend, whatever you like to call it. I got a couple questions on Instagram. I didn't get a chance to answer all of them before they expired. But there's a lot of basic fucking questions out there. A lot of basic questions coming over on Instagram. I don't want to say disappointed, but it just feels like, fuck, after 1,220 episodes, still have to answer and still have to cover the fucking fundamental goddamn shit that is literally like first or second grade level fitness stuff. We got to I really feel like this has to start out of the womb or something. Man, there's some simple questions that are being asked. It shocks me every time. Now you might say there's no stupid questions. I think there are. I think there are dumb questions. Why not? Why can't there be? Why does everyone have to be? No, it's okay. There's no dumb. There's dumb questions for sure. However, I mean, still answer them. There's still an answer to dumb questions, but man, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't ask me like, how do I get motivated? You fucking don't. You just go do it. You know, let's get this started just by, and not say, I'm not trying to scare anyone. Don't ask questions. Now is the Sunday Funday Q&A. Now is the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. You can ask all the questions you want. All right. It doesn't matter if they're stupid or not. It's fun. It's all fun and games. If I want to rip you a new one, I'll rip you a new one. But you know, I want to give you the answer too. But here's the thing, like the motivation question. Papa Swoleo, how do I get motivated? Fuck, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, do you want to train? Do you want to lose weight? I got a question today about I have to lose 150 or I have to lose 250 pounds or something. How do I get motivated? What the fuck are you talking about? You're 250 pounds overweight. You have 250 pounds to lose and you got to get motivated? I'm totally down to help you. I'm totally down to support that. But what the fuck? You need motivation more than that? You need motivation. You need motivation more than I have to lose 250 goddamn pounds. You need more motivation than that. Oh my God, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's your motivation right there. If you look down, you can't see your dick or your clit. You need, well, what ladies, you might have to like crunch a little bit to see your clit. But if you can't see your dick, that should be motivation enough. If you're having trouble walking around, which is probably the case if you're 250 pounds overweight, that's not motivation enough. Get up, do it. Stop looking for motivation. Motivation's a crock of shit. Everyone likes to say motivation exists. It's a real thing. I like to say it doesn't. I like to say inspired. I think motivation is beaten to the ground. I think motivation, that word is just slaughtered. I think motivation is a crock of shit. I think it's just been beaten to fucking death and it means absolutely jack shit. That's what I think. I think motivation is absolutely worthless in terms of what the word means. I think it's like the word love. I think it's like the words, like we've used it to the point where it just doesn't really mean, like actions are louder than words. Motivation doesn't mean anything. Are you motivated? I'm not motivated to work out. So what? No one cares. No one cares if you're motivated to work out. I don't care if you're motivated or not. Like, what does it mean to me? I love when someone messages me like, hey, give me some motivation. Find it yourself. Find it yourself. Go work out. I didn't have to, oh, I need motivation. Can someone help me get motivated? That doesn't work, man. It really doesn't fucking work. Someone else motivating you, it doesn't work. You get some external, it can. Someone's yelling at you like a trainer, like, come on, lift more, you fucking pussy. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That only goes so far. You need someone holding your hand. You're the one that's going to have to do it. even when you have a trainer, that's why a lot of people that get a personal trainer, they still don't see results because they see their trainer once, twice, maybe 3 times a week if they got money to do it, because it's not cheap to hire someone. It's like massage, it's not, these things aren't free. So if you have a personal trainer with you 3 days a week for 3 hours, that's 3 hours out of 168. They're with you for maybe like 0.18, 1.8% of the week, 2% of the week. You need to do that shit all the rest of the week. You need to be inspired, but you have to force those habits. If you want change and you want to be motivated, you want to get stuff done, then you have to force that habit. Just do it until it's a habit. It's like brushing your teeth. You need to exercise. It's like washing your ball sack. How many days would you go without, how many days would you go without washing your pits, right? Washing your butthole, washing your ball sack. How many days would you go without washing your ball sack? Hopefully not more than like half a day. You're going to wash your ball sack every day, I hope, right? You're going to cleanse yourself. And if you're not cleansing yourself, you're going to stink. Same thing with your fitness. If you don't train regularly, you're going to fucking fall apart. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be obese and you're going to be, oh my God, and have diabetes. It just means that you are going to be stiff. You're going to have there's a lot of other issues besides the way you look. There's a lot of other issues. We talk about weight loss all the time because most people are obese and overweight, but it doesn't mean that's the only aspect of fitness. Mobility. I don't care if you look like you have abs and you have muscles. Can you touch your fucking toes? Are you mobile? You're going to be jacked up when you're older too. You're going to be stiff as shit. A lot of people that lift heavy weights all the time and look good on the outside, they're jacked up either on the inside or they can't even fucking touch the ground. I'm telling you. Nicholas washes his ball sack twice a day. That's a good look. I mean, I don't want to see it, but that's cool. A double ball wash. I'm down with that. Black coffee is the best motivator. Rhea G started to clean out the storage garage today, going to build a small home gym. Cool. Well, that's cool. Cool story, bro. I like it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. Today is the Sunday Funday Q&Anus, so you can start dropping your questions in the comments down below, and I will get to them one at a time. I'll get to as many as I can, so you can just drop them below, and I'll just take questions. This is literally your forum. This is your time to ask whatever questions you have, and I suggest that you do so, because a lot of you have questions, and you don't always get a chance to ask them you don't always chance to ask the questions or get an answer on Instagram. I get a ton of those when I post those stickers on Instagram stories. So I can't always get to all of them. That's why I post it, every other day or every day or something like that. So let's see. Came into this live hearing wash your butthole. This is why I listen. Yeah, we talk about all the important things. Look, if you take one thing, if you learn one thing from the podcast, from all these episodes, wash your butthole. Just wash it. I mean, you never know you never know. Just wash it. It's always safe. It's always good. Melissa, I spoke to my dad about what you said about motivation, and he agrees with you 100%. I think it was an eye opener for him. I think it's a really good concept. It's the same thing with like a day off. Like there's no days off. You have to make fitness and your training and your health completely integrated with your life. If you're doing, I'm training this Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I take off. That's not how this game works. You're alive every single day until you die. So why are you taking any days off? You don't have to go and lift heavy every day. You don't have to go and run a marathon every day. People get all butthurt when I fucking say, don't take days off. Well, don't you need a rest day? It's a whole psychological approach that's different, you fucking jabroni. No, you don't need a rest day. You need lower intensity days. So today, if you're not lifting, do yoga, do foam rolling, meditate. Do something that's maybe active rest. Go for a walk, go for a hike. Do something that's not high intensity. You're not you're not building all your muscle. You're not losing all your weight in one fucking day. So every single day is important, and you should be keeping that place mark. You should be keeping that bookmark in place. And when you separate your fitness from your life and your training from your life, and you don't associate it as completely the same thing, that's when you pass it off, or you don't have time to work out, or I don't have time today, I'm too busy. That doesn't make sense. Are you too busy to brush your teeth? Are you too busy to wash your butthole or wash your ball sack? I'm too busy. No, I'm too busy. I'm too busy to shower. I couldn't shower today. No one ever says that. No one ever says they're too busy to fucking shower. You're too busy to shower. Has anyone ever said that? No, I couldn't shower today. I was too busy. People fucking shower. People shower. They wash their buttholes. They wash their ball sack. They wash their clit sack. I'm going to start calling it a clit sack just because I don't want anyone to get offended. I'm not saying both genitalia. And if you have both, then you have both. Maybe that's a fraction of my audience that has both. But you got one of those sacks down there. You got tit sacks. You got something they have to wash. You have some dark places, some crevices that need to be scrubbed. So scrub them. Clean that shit. Clean that fucking shit. Just like you're training. You don't take a day off from washing yourself. Don't take a day off from just completely letting yourself go to shit. Just my 2 ball bags on the matter. I always say that because I have 2 nuts, but it's really 1 bag. But I'm just saying 2 bags. So I think I'm just going to pretend like I have 2 ball sacks because I always say it wrong. There we go. Shane, thanks to yoga and finding you, I've gone from powerlifting stuff and like a kicked off turtle trying to get up to being more mobile each day. Kicked off turtle. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Papa Swole, any developments on being able to purchase a particular part of your program on Swoleormous X? No. Swoleormous X is one complete unit. It's all included. It's all together. That's the beauty of Swoleormous X, and that's the unique aspect of it. We don't do one-off programs in Swoleormous X. For those of you that don't know, Swoleormous X is a private community, private training platform. So it's a private community as well as all the programs, yoga classes, a whole yoga studio, mobility studio, meditation section, instructional video library, programs. What else we got here? Virtual trainer, so you could work out with me. You just put on your headphones and you can literally do a workout with me. What else we got in there? Got lots of shit. 90-day dash program and more programs coming. The Swole season program is being developed. Oh God, there's the kitchen, elimination, diet, recipe archive. There's so many fucking things. Masterclass. There's so many things in there. Masterclass section, weekly accountability meetings. So anyway, you can go check that out, swoleormousx.com. But it's really important to have everything together. And people like to say, oh, I want this one part. Fitness isn't one part. And a lot of times you don't know. And here's another thing about that for anyone that's like, oh, because I get some people ask me, and it's possible. It's possible. There might be like, hey, just a yoga portion. But I don't like that because fitness is not segmented like that. And that's why Swoleormous X is unique. That's why it's all one thing. Because when you're coming into a community like this, the reason why I have created what I have created, and the reason why, with my experience and education, the reason why Swoleormous X works is because a lot of people join and they don't know what they need. A lot of you, and I'm just saying that this is the truth. A lot of you think you know what you need, or you think you know what you want, but what you want isn't necessarily what you need. So that's where the expertise comes into play. You don't necessarily know what is best for you. Members, I mean, you don't. That's why I do what I do. And that's why I have a business, because I have the experience and the expertise to know what you need, not what you want. So that's why I don't sell things and push things out there like, catchy things like, oh, challenge and, 6-week shred and all these things that can maybe sell more and make more money. That's catchy bullshit, but that's not the longevity aspect. So the way I promote my stuff might not be the sexiest fucking thing, but it's the stuff that will work. And a lot of people don't like what they want to expect something. They want something that they think is going to work, not necessarily what will work, unfortunately. So I've had people join and they're like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know what they thought it was. I don't know if they thought it was just going to be fucking like, powerlifting all the time. Like, oh, fucking get yoked. Well, good. I love it when someone joins Swoleormous X. I mean, the thousands of people that are in there that fucking love the shit out of it and have had amazing results. I love it when someone joins and they're like, well, this isn't what I expect it to be. Good. Because why would you join? Obviously, you're not getting results with what you're fucking doing. It shouldn't be what you expected. That's why I created Swoleormous X, because it's not what you expect it to be, because it's not what the fitness industry is serving up to you on a daily fucking basis, because it's not bullshit. It's real fucking work. And it's real shit that will work and that will cover all aspects of your fitness, your nutrition, your mobility, your recovery, your mental training, everything. And that fucking is mind-blowing when people are like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Good. Because what you thought and the things that you know aren't working for you because you know them and you don't have results. Knowledge doesn't fucking get you change. Action gets you change. And if you only go by with what you know, you're going to stay in the same fucking rut. And that's why you don't have results, which is why you join in the first place. So stop being a fucking pussy and get to work. There, I said it. Do something about it. Ya fucking boosh. That wasn't against you, Nicholas. That just kind of got me off on the ramp. So anyway, let's see. Here we go. Washing is fine as long as you don't suggest an enema. Oh, no one was talking about that. Enema. Whoa. Easy there. Rio, how important is it to eliminate coffee on the full elimination diet? I mean, 4 to 6 weeks without coffee might be impossible. It's absolutely nowhere near close to impossible. And a lot of people are super sensitive to caffeine and don't realize it. And if you don't eliminate coffee, you're not going to know what coffee is doing to you. That's what an elimination diet is. It's not like if you don't eliminate coffee, you're going to die. You're going to have all these problems. It just means that if you don't remove it, you can't test your sensitivity to caffeine. You can't test your sensitivity to coffee and the reactions. That's all it means. So the more you eliminate, the more you can test. If you only eliminate one thing, it's not really a good study. It's not really a good test on yourself. You're not really going to find out a lot of information. The more you remove, the more you can test, the more you will find out. So if you're going to do an elimination, you kind of want to eliminate as much as possible. Everyone has a different situation. Some people do partial elimination. Some people kind of like do baby steps into a full elimination and do things like in phases. It's not as good, but at the same time, everyone's different. So you have to do what you feel most comfortable with, but also you should also do things that you're not comfortable with, because if you're comfortable with it, then you're not really stretching your boundaries. You're not really learning and really progressing because you're staying within your comfort zone. So yeah, you can keep coffee, but then you're missing out on information. And a lot of times coffee can really fuck people up sometimes, but it's up to you. It's up to you. How do I improve grip strength? You practice grip strength, farmer's walks, practice deadlifts, practice dead hangs on a bar. What foods do I recommend for muscle recovery? What foods? You mean fucking proper nutrition? Do an elimination diet and then eat your food. Eat your food and then figure out which foods work best for you and then eat a sufficient amount of calories. Hydrate, sleeping, all those things. I started a cheat day. Now I find it hard not to cheat every other day. There you go. Yeah, well, addictions are tough. It's like being an alcoholic. It's hard it's hard to stop drinking. It's hard to stop smoking. You get addicted to those sugary foods. You get fucking addicted to it. I might miss some of these questions as I try to like scroll up and like catch up. But let me see. You're so right about motivation. David Goggins says the same thing. Every day is a new day for me. Yeah, David Goggins is a fucking beast. You want some inspiration? Watch his shit. It doesn't matter though. You can watch my shit. You can watch his. You can watch anyone. If you don't do it, it's all a load of fucking bullshit. There's nothing different than me. I mean, there are differences between our experiences, maybe your goals and stuff, but there's we're all human beings. You have the same ability to get shit done that I do. You just wanted the yoga aspect. Well, there's yoga. There's a yoga studio. There's Swole 7. There's a Swolga section. So you're getting all of it. I would highly recommend if there ever is anything broken off or subjected, it's not going to be that much different. So I would just hook in and get all of it integrated. That's what you think. You just want the yoga. Trust me, there's a lot more. There's a lot more in there that you'll benefit from. Audrey, AD space Re. How often do I personally deload? I'm currently having a deload week. How do I personally? I don't really think of my training like that at this time. I don't personally do like, oh, I'm deloading every 8-12 weeks. I don't. I just do. I'm always doing yoga. I'm focusing a lot of yoga. I'm focusing on, my strength training. I'm just focusing on consistency. If I need to back off, I need to do more yoga, I do more yoga. So personally, at this point in my career, my experience, my life, I back off whenever I feel like I need to, but usually before. I'm very in tune with what my body needs and how to avoid injury and how my body performs. So I don't schedule it like that personally. Silly gamer Katya. Every time when at hairdresser, my hair gets washed backwards in wash thingy. My neck will hurt the next day, including headaches, BO muscle. muscle tension. I do neck yoga. I'm hearing some background noise. Hearing some horrible music in the background. Are there specific exercise I can do? Neck yoga? What the fuck is neck yoga? Is that like a new thing? People just creating new types of yoga all the time, including headaches. I would put a support there or tell them to wash your hair differently. That'd be silly. If you know you're going to have fucking pain the next day, don't do it. You can wash your hair in a different manner. Go the other way and put your head down and be like, well, that's not how we normally do it. Well, my neck fucking hurts. Or put a support there, put a pillow there. I'm sure there are exercises you can do. I don't know exactly what's causing you that kind of a pain. There are many neck exercises to strengthen the cervical flexors and stuff and the retraction aspects of your neck and your, here on the front of the spine. But I couldn't diagnose you or critique that from here. You're very appreciated too, Shane. Thank you. It's absolutely, I agree. It's important to have a community for accountability. Absolutely. Oh, for those of you that are in Swoleormous X, just a reminder, tomorrow at noon is the Sunday Funday is the accountability meeting. So if you're part of the Daily Swole Club or Swoleormous X, accountability meeting tomorrow. And we got some new releases for those of you in Swole X. Finishing up primer week of the 90-day dash. Anyone who hasn't signed up, just do it. There's so much information. I hardly need to Google for any fitness related questions. So much fucking information. Thank you so much. And more added. We're adding more tomorrow. We're pretty much adding, I say on the site, I say we add new content every month because we do, but it's really every week. We're adding new content every single week pretty much. So yeah, all the time. Oh yeah, I saw that video. Marsha made a video, a new video about it. Yeah, that was great. I saw it last night. Someone sent it to me. Just fucking cancel Netflix and sign up. It's the Netflix of gains. That's the way I started Swoleormous X. I'm like, I'm gonna make the Netflix of sick fucking gains. Let's see here. Dun 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 dun. Yes. D Duke UNC. Can you still be a part of the Facebook group as a donor to Daily Swole Club? Yes. If you donate, you'll get information and links and emails and stuff for sure. Will I do a video on Athlean X new what he eats? Probably not. Maybe I'll watch it. I usually don't watch content. If a video, it depends on how long it is. If a video is like, if it starts breaking like 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm not going to watch that. I'll check it out maybe. But it's not really. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe it'll come up on my feed. I'll try to remember. I got a bunch of stuff to do today, but I'll check it out. What was he eating? Why don't you tell me right now? What was he eating in the video? Paraphrase it. Foamy. Well, you don't have to. Corey Johnson, I can't intuitively eat because that's what got me overweight in the first place. Well, I agree with intuitive eating in principle, in the concept, not in the application. I think people should intuitively eat after they fucking master caloric value and they get their results. And then it's like, okay, once you master that shit, you can intuitively eat. But you have to really, I don't like this intuitive eating bullshit when it comes to eating junk food. A lot of these fucking bullshit nutritionists on Instagram, and I got a bunch of those. If you like those, if you like that series that I was doing, if you liked all those videos I was making like a couple weeks ago, I have a bunch more that are in my back pocket that I need to rage on. And I'm probably going to revisit a lot of the jabronis I've covered already because they're still putting out this intuitive eating nonsense, but they're having a lot of these processed carbohydrates and junk foods. It's like, you got to get away from these addictive foods if you're going to be pushing this intuitive eating crap. And that's really for people with a lot of experience. If you have a lot of experience with nutrition, then it's like a little bit more applicable. Like for me, I can look at a plate. I know when I'm full, I'm eating real food. I know how much I eat. I know what it's like to bulk. I know what it's like to lose weight. You shouldn't be just intuitively eating just because Hey, well, I have an eating disorder. I got to pull away from observing what I eat. If you eat real fucking food and stop eating cookies and pizza and shit, yeah, if you break those fucking cravings, up your fucking healthy fats and eat some real damn food, you're not going to have those kinds of cravings anymore. You have to break it. If you're eating shit for 30 or 40 years, it's not going to happen overnight. I think people think that when they go on a diet 3 weeks later, I still have cravings. No shit. You've been eating this stuff for 40 years. Why would you stop having cravings after 3 weeks? You think your body's going to forget? All of a sudden your whole macrobiome and your everything's changed. Everything in your body is just changed in 3 weeks. It's a long process of breaking these habits. Hey, yeah. What's up, beaches? I lost 180 pounds about 5 years ago through diet and exercise. However, I'm struggling to put on muscle. Any suggestions? I'm a female, 52. You got to eat and you got to train hard. Put on muscle. You put on muscle the same way anyone else does. You got to be eating, quality foods. Make sure you're not in a deficit and be lifting. You got to be lifting heavier probably. Maybe you're not training hard enough. Are there any unhealthy spices? There could be. I'm sure some people have issues with certain spices. A lot of spices come from plants and things like that if you have issues. Unhealthy is relative. That's a very dangerous kind of word to say. This is unhealthy. I say it a lot with like processed foods, but it's relative. Health is a very vague term if you think about it. Health is a vague term. However, I think we can all agree with like our own collective general concept of what health is. Health is not having any like illness and disease, and we're not going down that road. So in terms of health and lack of health, we always have to kind of define it depending on what we're talking about. How long did it take for you to get that in tune with your body? I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know. Like there wasn't a day where I was like, I'm in tune with my body. I'm still learning, because after all those years of training and after all the overload that I put my body through, and now that I'm so into doing all this content, so my focus is not just the gym. That was always like what I did. That was like my number one fucking thing, was like I worked out for myself. Now that's almost like a number two. So I'm doing all this. I'm getting my fitness in. I'm really integrating as much as possible, but I have limited time just like you. I have the same hours in a day that you do. So when I'm approaching my training, it's not as like the top priority anymore. It's an integrated priority with Swoleormous and all the platforms, because I have like 15 different accounts and 15 different channels and avenues, including Swoleormous X, including the podcast, the clips channel, the main channel, every single platform. So I'm just doing a lot of content, a lot of stuff. So it just takes a lot more of my time, which is great. And I love it. So it's a whole different shift. So I'm always going through. That's why meditation helps, and understanding what I want, really what I want to accomplish. I'm not really passionate about putting on tons more muscle. I'm not really passionate about getting shredded. I don't care about that stuff. For me, it's more about mobility and being consistent with yoga and my training and just keeping that fucking going. And then when I go, if I feel like crushing it, I crush it. And I feel like taking it easy and doing a couple more isolation things, then I take it easy. I just adjust it on the fly. But that's where I am now. And there were years and years where I was just fucking deep in it, crushing it. That was my main focus. So you have to change. You're going to change as you get older. You're going to change as you get more developed. You learn more about yourself, and you learn more about what you want. It's about what you want. And are you willing enough to go after it? I know what it takes to build muscle, like to build muscle, not like, hey, I'm training, I got a good pump, but like to really pack on size. I'm like, it's really a lot of work. It's much more work than people make it out to be. Most people have no idea. Most people have no idea how much effort it really takes to put on quality muscle. Quality muscle. You always miss the meetings because you're in the UK. So what is it, like 6 p.m.? You're always busy at 6 p.m.? Oh no. Well, I posted in the group today, and I actually did this because I've started doing this on Sunday. I posted what you're working on this week. So if you can't make the meeting, drop the comment on the post that I posted in the private group today, poll Lioness. And then I'll go over some of those comments and questions. That way, people that can't make it live, I can cover some of the things in addition to people that are watching live and live discussion. So I can address what you're working on and stuff, even if you can't make it live. So I try to get through and accommodate for all those different time zones. Otherwise, I'd be going live like 7 times a day, like, hey, are you live? So I try to do it on Sunday too. I feel that, quote, elevated yoga. What's that? Leaves me feeling better and helps my mind muscle connection. Have you had this experience? Elevated yoga? I don't know what elevated yoga. You guys are using these terms. What the fuck is elevated yoga? Drew, you have to reword that. I have no idea what elevated yoga is. My God. My God, man. Am I just living under a rock? Is that something that exists? Elevated yoga? Or you mean like, define that. Do you mean power yoga? Do you mean like a vinyasa flow versus yin? What do you mean? Cynthia, ever since I started listening to Papa Swolio, I started making my health the priority, not so much on my external look. It has been 1,000 times easier to decline all the junk my body doesn't need. That's why if we go after longevity, if we go after in terms of like health, not just, oh, hey, I want 6-pack abs, I want to lose weight. If you go after just being healthier and making better health choices, you're going to lose extra body fat. You're going to be more consistent because it's much easier to be consistent if your goal is more realistic. You just make better choices during the day. Donna said, Drew, what is elevated yoga? No one knows. Oh, we got Pup. And there she is. Fucking bumming it over here. She doesn't care. It's the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. Mukbang. Yep. She was all about it earlier. She was all like she was all up here and like looking up at the camera, and then I go live and she's like, all right, fuck you guys. She does that always right when I go live. If Papa Swole doesn't, I'm sure Vegan Dick Gains will do a half-assed video on Athlete X. Well, now I'm getting curious. What's going on. Tell me what he ate so I don't have to watch it. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate it. Love you, dude. How are things going with Dorian? We didn't get touched at all. The hurricane turned like right away, so we got like a little wind. It got a little windy for a second. Literally a little windy, and then it went away. Let's see here. As a dietitian, what do you mean as a dietitian? You mean Athlete X? He's not a dietitian. Or are you a dietitian? He eats some grains, animal protein, uses a microwave, and uses artificial sweeteners. Are you talking about... Just remember, people, I get comments in pieces, so I don't know what you're referring to if you're replying to someone else. Marilyn, what's the lowest amount of calories you can eat that's considered healthy still? Not the right question. Like, why are you... Well, that's not even a concern. I've never really heard anyone... Once you start going below 1,500, you're really like... You're going down there. Because remember, you're also exercising. You should be exercising. So you're using energy. And if you're exercising regularly, you're lifting weights, you need to repair, you need to handle body processes. Like, I guess 1,200 is generally like, but that's fucking low. You're barely eating if 1,200 calories. That's really low. Some people, they're not exercising enough. But here's the thing when it comes to low calories. Here's one of the reasons why the right foods and nutrient-dense foods is important or are important, because it's not just a caloric deficit. If you don't have enough overall, like, because the calories are the volume, like how much food are you eating? You need a certain amount of nutrients for your body to function properly, vitamins and minerals. And if you're not getting enough volume, you could be eating really quality foods and eating one plate of them. Well, if you're getting 500 calories a day, you don't have enough of those nutrients, even from the quality foods that you consumed, to be healthy. So it's about the volume too. It's not just the quality, it's the quantity. You need both. Sufficient quantity, but that's going to vary on your lean mass, on your exercise, on how much weight you have to lose. But if you have to lose, let's say 200 pounds, eat 1,500 calories a day is not much anyway. Plus some exercise, you'll be fine. You'll be great. I agree with that, Camilla. Intuitive eating only works if you're making your own and it's not processed with, if you're eating intuitively and you're eating junk food, you're going to have a lot of problems. That's the problem with fucking intuitive eating. Did I see Alan's video about Bill Maher? I watched a couple minutes of it. I covered the whole Bill Maher thing like yesterday, the day before. I guess it was yesterday on the podcast. What was your? I didn't watch his entire video, but what are your thoughts on it? Why do you bring it up to me? Why do you bring it up to Daddy? I can't stop putting on muscle. Sometimes I wish it would stop. I hear you, man. I hear you. Health at every size. Quote, listen to your body. It knows what it needs. My body. I want some Taco Bell right now. Let's see. Athlean X, oatmeal with whipped cream and sugar and maple syrup, egg whites, chicken wrap, yogurt, more chicken, corn, sweet potato mash, ice cream with more whipped cream, protein shake. Is that what he ate? I don't know. I take it back. Maybe I would have to actually look at it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. We'll see. We'll see. Just a reminder, it's also very interesting when you start looking, well, look, he has millions of subscribers and he makes a lot of great content, Jeff Cavaliere. So it's like, people are going to look at that. Well, if he does it, it's okay. It's like when people say The Rock does it. Oh, The Rock eats a big stack of pancakes. The Rock has a cheat day. The Rock also takes supplements, quote unquote, and his fucking career revolves around his physique. So like, and everyone's also different. Like, what are you measuring? Are you trying to see like how much muscle I can build? Are you trying to avoid getting cancer? Are you trying to avoid obesity? Are you trying to avoid diabetes? What's your actual goal? Because you have a lot of people that could be eating a lot of shitty food and have abs, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're healthy. And you're not always going to feel great. Trust me. When I was, you're pumped and you can have a lot of joint pain and look ripped and lean and full and be heavy and just feel kind of like immobile and stiff. There are a lot of different aspects to health. So I prefer to take the approach where I want to eat foods that are fucking real. I want to eat as many real sources of food that I can, not to look a specific way. I mean, I want both, but that's going to go away when you're going to be what you're going to be left behind with is the ramifications of your choices from what you're repairing your cells with and what you're putting inside your body. I want to try to keep that to foods that are actually found in nature as close as I can. Yeah, you're always learning, always learning. Good exercises for chest. Well, are you trying to chase strength or a good pump? You probably need more yoga. You're probably not, your form is probably is off. Compound movements don't get amazing pumps. That's kind of like the definition of them. They're spread over multiple muscle groups. Let's see here. Chest is my weak area. You could do, I mean, to the previous question, you could do, there's pinch presses, there's different angles. You could do reverse bench. There's reverse benching. You could do things with cables, or you could do some different angles with cables and stuff like that. But I mean, you need to have a foundation with some basic compound movements. You could be grabbing too close on the bar. Your elbows could be in a wrong position. You might not be packing your shoulders properly. There's a couple different things. Elevated yoga is high yoga. Oh, like smoking. Janelle, chest is my weak area. I don't feel comfortable bench pressing with any significant weight without a spot. That's because you're not supposed to bench press technically without a spot, because if you can't lift the bar, you're going to be stuck under the bar. What are some good alternatives? Push-ups, cable presses, flies, pinch press, pullovers. A lot of different alternatives. Anything with pushing. Papa Swole, I tend to have sleep paralysis. Do you think this could, what's sleep paralysis? You guys do know I'm not a medical doctor, right? I'm not going to be like diagnosing, oh, you have sleep paralysis. Well, here's a prescription for Stop being a fucking pussy. No, I'm kidding. What's the definition of sleep paralysis? Like you sleep a lot? I appreciate the questions that assume I know all these different things. But I know that's why you ask, because if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. So I don't know exactly what sleep paralysis is. Let's see here. We said vegan gain stuff. Melcy. My mom was asking about the difficulties with hormones and weight gain. She struggles in her 50s. Her body has changed completely. She eats well, but can't. Hormones drop. Same thing with guys. Testosterone drops as you get older. That's why testosterone replacement. That's why TRT exists. Yeah, it's hard to lose weight as you get older. You know why? Because the body is slowly dying. The body's slowly dying. Slowly. That's why it's important to do the best you can while you can. You can still lose weight. She's having difficulty with hormones. She struggles with her age. Her body has changed completely. She eats well. How vague is that? She eats well. What does that mean? Like, I mean, it's not that she's some unique special flower. Your mom, what is she eating? What is she doing for exercise? She eats well. Well is not descriptive. What's her exercise regimen? What's all the other aspects? Like, people still lose weight at all different ages. Boom, 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 boom. How important are macros? Well, macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I think most people need to eat more of a higher fat diet and drop the carbs. People are eating way too much protein, way too many carbohydrates. That's just my experience in general. Everyone's going to have different experiences. That's why a lot of people don't, I think, react well with like heavily plant-based diets, because they're just pounding fucking carbohydrates. Oh, let's see. All right, guys, let's keep these questions on topic. We got questions for me. Questions. Since I work overnights, I miss most live daily swoles. Well, that's cool. Thanks to 4 water breaks, so I'm hydrated. That's good for those of you who catch the podcast later. You get those water breaks. Always trying to keep you healthy. Always trying to keep you healthy and trying to keep you hydrated. So in honor of making some sick water gains, shall we take a little water break, people? Are we thirsty? A little thirsty? Let's do it. Let's get sexy. Grab your water. Time to chug, bitches. Go. Oh, God. Oh, this is the healthiest podcast you'll ever watch. The only podcast that actually hydrates you. Hydrate or die. Do I recommend any type of sweetener substitute? I don't personally, and this is when it comes to my recommendations, I usually just tell you what I do. I mean, I don't put any sweetener stuff in there. There's some situations where you could put some like raw honey and stuff like that, but I don't find the need for any kind of sweetener substitute on any of the foods that I consume. So I don't recommend any because I don't use any. Burps. My God. Are you talking about in terms of like stevia and things like that? What are you trying to sweeten? What you trying to sweeten? I think that's a better question. Why are you trying to, what is it that you're trying to sweeten? Why do you need that sweet? Why don't you just eat something that's actually sweet? You don't have to put fake sweet. If you're drinking coffee, you need to sweeten it, then don't fucking drink coffee or deal with it. Seriously, if you can't fucking drink your coffee like coffee, then don't drink. You're not cut out to drink coffee then. Either drink coffee or don't drink coffee. Put fucking like, you're putting in the milk of another animal. Let's pasteurize and fucking sterilize this cow juice and fucking pour it in my coffee. Why are you ruining your coffee? You're ruining your fucking coffee like that. If you can't drink coffee black, you just have shitty fucking coffee, or you don't know how to make coffee. You're drinking Folgers or some bullshit. Yeah, no wonder you don't like your coffee black, because you're drinking shit. And you can try different kinds. I'm just fucking around with you, but it is an acquired taste like anything else, but it's delicious. Once you like, oh, ooh, so good. So good. Yeah, so good. Is there any particular type of yoga that anyone can recommend for a yoga virgin? All of them. Just do a beginner's class. If you go somewhere, go to an all levels class. The great thing about yoga is you can always modify. If you're in a class, you can always go down to a child's pose or take a shavasana and stuff like that if you're tired and you can't keep up. It's totally fine. There's sometimes when I go to a yoga class or I do a yoga, let's say I'm doing it at home and I'm doing it inside Swoleormous X, or if I go to a hot yoga class or something, there are times when I'll do it after an upper body day, my arms, my tries, and they're like doing another vinyasa flow. I'm like, my arms are fucking wrecked and I just don't need it. So I modify, or I'll drop to my knees for a second and then meet in downward dog. But if I did upper body and I'm sore as fuck, I don't beat the shit out of myself. If I'm already fatigued, then I'm fatigued. You're gonna be different day to day with yoga. You're gonna be really good some days and really mobile and feel really awesome, and other days you feel really stiff and fatigued, and it's day to day. It kind of exposes your imbalances day to day. Yeah, sweet coffee is gross. I don't like that shit at all. Let's see. What do you think about sparkling water, carbonated water? I don't drink it. I feel like it's kind of like just the bubbles and the bloating. It's not really necessary. I would say it's better than soda. If you're addicted to soda, you can wean off of it. That would be a better choice than to drink like Coca-Cola and stuff. So I will say, like a couple weeks, two or 3 weeks ago, we had some. I went through a period where we had some, because Mama Swolio likes cheese, but I started breaking out a little bit because I had a little bit just to I haven't had cheese, or I have butter and stuff like that, but I noticed after a couple days that my skin, I started noticing like some bumps. I'm like, maybe it's because it was sleep, or maybe it's because of something else or stress or something like that. But I cut it out and I noticeably like, okay, I'm not going to eat any kind of like dairy like that. And it went away. So that's very common for dairy to cause things like acne and migraines or issues with people. So it was just a couple days and it's kind of like, let me test it out a little bit. I think it's important. So for those of you that have done an elimination, I think it's always important if you're doing something or cutting something out. And it's not to say go cheat and like crush yourself, but I think it's always important to get some perspective. Like, oh, this is why I don't consume this. Oh, when I consume this, I don't feel good, or I don't feel any value from it. It's like a reminder. Oh yeah, that's why I cut it out. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Just to confirm. It's like a reminder, because you forget. You distance yourself so long from something, and then you forget that, oh, that's why. You start to think, oh, it's not that bad. Maybe I need to lax up on things. And because there's so many options, the only reason why you feel like you're restricting your diet and people feel restricted is because there's way too many food products out there on the market. When you have 10,000 fucking options and you're only eating, let's say, 50 of them, of course you can be like, wow, why are you so restrictive? Why are you cutting so many things out? I'm not cutting shit out. There's just way more things than I need. And they keep on creating new types of food that I don't want or need. Doesn't make me restrictive. I'm just eating the foods that work for me. And if you have 50 or 100 foods and they keep on pumping out different kinds, they keep on creating different foods. Why? Because you're not eating all of them, because you're not just going down the street and be like, hey, I'll put that in my mouth. Hey, I'll put that in my mouth. Everyone's going to call you restrictive. It's fit shaming. It's not fair. That's a real fucking thing. I always ask you this. How many of you get harassed at work, or how many people give you shit for eating healthy? That's the fucking weird part. You criticize someone for eating junk food and you're an asshole, and then someone could be like, oh, you're eating chicken and rice. All the time it happens. All the times like that. That's one of the reasons why psychologically I don't like the concept of artificial sweeteners. It's like, if it's not sweet, it's not supposed to be sweet. So don't sweeten it. Leave it. Yeah, well, I think dairy also leads to asthma and issues like that, respiratory issues in children too. I should say. Do I think you can get all the nutrition you need if you're eating? Of course, it's possible. It depends. Some people, I think a lot of people that take vitamins, you can take it. It's a shotgun approach. Of course, if you're getting a really high quality vitamin, it doesn't mean that it's helping, doesn't mean that it's hurting, but most people don't really know what they're deficient in or what they need. So if you're getting like regular testing or you're doing it yourself and, it's not necessarily cheap and it's not always, people aren't aware of that, you can test and check for deficiencies and things like that. But if you are, and you like specifically target, you don't necessarily need to take a broad range of things because you can get too many of certain nutrients. But usually when you consume a vitamin or you take a vitamin supplement, even that's quality, it will be in a form, the actual vitamins or minerals will be in a form that your body would either convert or that wouldn't risk toxicity. Most vitamins are not going to be like, hey, if you have 2 of these, you're going to be toxic levels. It's usually many times what they will provide you, because for legal reasons, they don't want people ODing on a vitamin or a mineral. But for example, with like vitamin A, they'll give you, it'll be in like a beta carotene form because then it gets converted to retinol. You don't want to give someone, that's why when you eat liver, if you eat like grass-fed, like beef liver, you don't want to overeat it. You only have like a few ounces a week because that's where you get the converted usable form of vitamin A. And if you eat it too much, you can have toxicity issues with too much vitamin A. So that's why when you eat carrots or things like that, your body doesn't OD because it only converts what it needs. And then if you eat too many carrots, I don't know if you all knew this, your skin will turn orange. My cousin used to just pound fucking carrots, like bags of carrots, and her skin, her hands would be all orange. It's a lot of sugar too, but better for a kid to just pound carrots than to eat shit. Let's see what we got here. I'm scrolling down. I got funny looks from former coworkers when I brought in carrots while they were stuffing faces with cakes and biscuits. I consume butter and occasionally cheese. I don't consume dairy too much. I don't usually consume dairy, and too much causes me to bloat and have breathing issues when I sleep. Damn. Very common. See, I really try to be a little bit more, I guess, broad with my nutrition approach, just for clarification, because a lot of people might look at my content and be like, wow, you're so strict, or wow, you're being a little bit overly aggressive or overly restrictive. And I'm trying to like reiterate all the time, I'm not being restrictive. I'm being specific. And if you customize your nutrition and you do an elimination diet and you figure out what foods work best for your body, you start to make better choices. You'll make better choices based around what works best for you. And if you're eating the foods that work best for you, then it works best for you. It doesn't matter what someone else is eating. Do I ever get sick of eating grass-fed beef only? Never said I only eat grass-fed beef. It's just a much better form, much safer form of nutrition than fish, than chicken and stuff like that. And no, I don't get sick. I don't get sick of fucking ribeyes. I don't get sick of bone broth. I have not yet. Other things I do. And I'm still kicking around the idea of trying I don't think, again, it's like, I don't think I could. I keep getting asked, have I ever done the carnivore diet? Talk about the carnivore diet. I'm very, very curious. I just don't know if I want to. It's not that I don't agree with it or I don't believe in it or I don't think it's possible. Same thing with veganism. I love watermelon. Anything but meat, you're not being a carnivore. And that's very extreme. I think humans are omnivores, obviously, which is why we can survive on eating different things. And I think on an individual level, there are different foods that react differently. So some people can eat more plant foods and maybe handle it better. Other people don't realize that eating certain plant foods can cause them major sensitivities. That's why an elimination is important. Maybe red peppers blow your shit up. Maybe broccoli, your body just fucking hates it. You don't realize. You're like, but I'm eating all this fiber, but I'm eating all this broccoli. How come I'm not losing weight? I'm eating kale and broccoli. How come I'm bloating? Oh my God, maybe it's my calories. Should I try paleo? Should I try this? Do you like this protein powder? What should I do? My trainer says this. If you do an elimination diet, you can cut some of these things out that might be questions in your mind and fucking figure it out. Like actually get the real data. Like, oh, when I eat this, I have a fucking migraine every time. Don't eat that food, eh? When I eat dairy, I bloat and I have trouble sleeping. So don't eat the dairy. But what am I going to put in my coffee? Then fucking just drink it, or don't drink it. Drink tea. You know, if you're going to eat something that's going to fuck you up, then don't eat it. So doing an elimination, that's why I talk about it so often. If you do an elimination diet, it's going to eliminate a lot of those stupid questions and the wonder. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's causing this. Well, give yourself a fucking month and you'll figure it out if you actually want to. If not, then keep on guessing. Keep on guessing. Keep on fucking guessing. A lot of people just want to guess. Everyone wants to guess or just have someone tell you the answer. What should I eat? I have no fucking idea. Why don't you figure it out? Why don't you do what I've been telling you for fucking 3 years? Try it. It works. Elimination diet works. You cut some of these things out and you feel so much better. I don't eat oatmeal because I don't feel benefit from it. I don't eat brown rice because it fucking doesn't do jack shit for my body. It's like eating little tiny rocks. Doesn't digest for shit. White rice or sweet potatoes for me, from a carb, a lot of fats. That's what I do for me. For me, let's see. My goal is weight loss. My diet is in check now. I'm losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. For training, I have Planet Fitness or CrossFit near me, and that's it. Which would I recommend long term? Exercise and yoga, training and yoga. I personally wouldn't recommend CrossFit. I personally wouldn't. Doesn't mean you can't do it. But if you're talking about long term, getting on a regular strength training program with yoga, use that for your time for sure. That's my recommendation. I had to start consuming dairy after many years. You had to? No, you didn't. Why would you have to start consuming dairy? I got a lot of issues from anemia. I struggle eating calories and macros. I've been below 1,000 calories for years. Still, I'm not skinny. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anastasia, I don't know what is going on with your diet and nutrition. I'm confused. Irene did the elimination and found that soy makes me break out. Isn't that great information? So obviously being a vegan probably isn't a good idea for you. Well, unless you're going to avoid soy. So that's beneficial information. Think of how valuable that is. And soy is in everything. They put so much soy in everything. Intuitive Duck, conflating love and living with food is so dangerous. I think that's why people have a hard time with emotional eating. When they diet, they don't feel comforted by food and want to give up. I agree. Let's see. Anthony, I have been counting calories for just over 2 months, 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, and I lost 29 pounds. But I have been finding that I get dizzy from sitting to standing and fatigued. Am I being too restrictive? Possibly. But what are you eating? That's very, very low. And you could be way too restrictive. Or you could be eating in a specific way that your body is shifting over from nutrients. But that's very, very low. So you could be, for sure. I think that's too low. I wouldn't recommend 1,000 to 1,200 a day. Unless you're under like medical care and medical supervision. Dana, I'm struggling to get much sleep. My baby is teething. Nutrition is locked in. My workouts are suffering. I feel like I'm going through the motions. Should I just focus on sleep, eating for now? Sure. Maybe do some yoga, some meditation. It doesn't matter if you're exercising regularly, if you're not getting sleep or you're not eating properly. Not that you said your nutrition is locked in. So it's like, how well do you think you're going to do if your fucking sleep is suffering? Today at the grocery store, the cashier said if I ate healthy, I would go hungry. As she checked me out, I was so confused. What does that mean? If I ate that healthy? Oh, she said, oh, she was saying about her. If I ate that healthy, I would go hungry. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. She's like saying, I couldn't eat that healthy. In other words, like, oh, there's nothing good there. Genius is knowing tomato is a fruit. Wise is not putting in a fruit salad. I've heard that before. Well, tomatoes can cause people problems. The seeds or the skin can cause people problems. Tomatoes are a nightshade, so some people have issues with them. Making sick fucking gains, making gains. This chat is saving me money. I was going to Target, but I'm here instead. Nice. You go to Target, you're going to lose a paycheck. Don't go to Target. You go to Target, have one thing in mind. Order online. Ordering online will save you money because you're not going to just buy random shit. You go to Target, like, I need some paper towels. You leave with like a couch. I used to get stomach cramps after eating avocado, but I loved it so much I still ate it. Now I don't get cramps from it at all. Do you think my body wasn't used to that specific fat? Maybe there's other issues. Maybe it was other things that you're eating. Maybe it was other things. I don't know. It could be. A lot of times when people change what they're eating, if you go from, let's say, eating regular stuff or junk food, hey, I want to lose weight. So you go raw vegan, your gut biome is like completely not. Your gut biome is completely not ready for that kind of a switch. It's the same thing with why people, when they go keto, all of a sudden they might shit themselves. I don't know if any of you like all of a sudden start upping your fats drastically, and just, you have like, diarrhea, or because the fats can be a little bit upsetting to your stomach if you just go keto all of a sudden, or you just up your fats dramatically, like from one meal to the next. Nutrition needs a little bit more habit building, and it needs a little bit more progression. Not that like quick snap. It can be a little bit severe for people. It's creating habits. If you have something that you could be consistent with, it's going to be a lot better for you. Do you think having an off day from the gym is good for recovery, or is better to work out for every day? No, you shouldn't be going to the gym every day. If you're going to the gym every day, you shouldn't be lifting every day. Yoga and stuff, active recovery. Let's see, FODMAP. Some people have results. I just prefer elimination diet. I forget what FODMAP stands for. Isn't it kind of like you're eating certain things? I forget. The allergy test, right? That's why I promote the elimination diet. I don't know if any of you have caught those episodes where I talk about the elimination diet. When I break it down, it's the foundation. It's like the Big Bang when it comes to the universe. It's like the center point of wherever you want to go. So when I say elimination diet, I'm not telling you this is what you should be eating. The elimination diet is you cutting out a lot of these questionable foods, cutting out dairy, processed foods, processed sugar, cutting out grains and gluten, cutting out a lot of things like legumes. It's a short period of time. So you're still eating quality foods. You could still be eating vegetables. You could still be eating animal proteins, but you want to cut out anything that could be questionable in your diet that could be causing problems, or that's a common allergen or sensitivity for a lot of people. And then you see how your body reacts after about 4 to 6 weeks, because then your body resensitizes. If you eliminate it out of the picture for a while, it's going to be restrictive. Yeah, you're cutting things out, but then when you bring one food back in at a time, you can see what each food does to your body. Some people can handle things a little bit better. But just because you can handle it doesn't mean that's optimal for you. Like, hey, I didn't have violent diarrhea, but maybe you felt sluggish. Maybe you crashed in the afternoon. You notice, oh my God, when you were at the gym, your elbow hurt. It could be related. You can get joint pain. You could have insomnia. You could have restlessness. You could have elevated heart rate. You could feel short of breath. You could have anxiety. You could have all sorts of things and triggers from foods. No question about it. That's why it's important. It's not just about weight gain and, are you bloating? Or do you have diarrhea? Or do you feel nauseous or a migraine? It's not that simple. There's a lot of other things. You can eat a food and have trouble sleeping. A lot of you said that in the comments. When I have dairy, I'm restless. You're sweating at night. There are sometimes I'll have certain foods, or if we have fish or maybe the fish wasn't cooked completely through. I mean, I've had nights where I was like just sweating like crazy when we try something different. Like, oh, fuck. Not for me. Opinion on lifting straps. I like them. I use, I think the Versa grips or the Cobra grips are good because they have a nice pad. It's good to get a little bit extra to hook it in so you don't have to worry so much about grip strength for certain exercises. I don't use them for everything. You have to train your grip strength, and I do forearm workout and stuff like that. But, you know, if you're doing certain exercises, you want to stress larger muscle groups. You want to take your grip out of the equation more or not be limited by your grip strength. Could they be too hard on the wrist? Sure, you can have them too tight. You could have ones that are uncomfortable for you. There's so many different brands for a reason. Hi, Papa. Will doing an hour of steady state cardio 4 to 5 days a week during a cut lead to muscle loss? Sure, could be. Could. Why? What kind of a question is that, Helen? Come on. Of course it could lead to muscle loss. If you're not eating enough food and you're just doing an hour of just like cardio 5 days a week, of course it could lead to muscle loss. It could lead to weight loss, period. Are you in a deficit? That's going to lead to muscle loss and weight loss. You certainly don't need to do 4 to 5 days a week of an hour of steady state cardio. If you're concerned about muscle loss, cut that shit down. Do yoga. Save some fucking time. Use it more wisely than just steady state cardio. Boring shit. Boring. Boring. Bum bumch. We're talking about, did someone say, I saw someone say don't do burpees when you have a child or a baby. Who's doing burpees while pregnant? Did someone say that in the comments? I really hope no one said they're doing burpees while they're pregnant. Your baby is going to have like 3 fucking heads if you do burpees while you're pregnant. You see something like that? Yeah, all right, that's more specific. FODMAP is a type of elimination diet. You remove fermentable, oligo, di, mono, and polysaccharides. See, that's very, very specific. That's very, very technical. Usually that's usually more like medical under medical guidance. There's, I think just a fundamental elimination is much more approachable. When you start saying shit like that, people get confused and it's over most people's heads. Doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. You can definitely do it. Why not? Any kind of elimination diet, what an elimination diet means to me, and there's different ways you can approach it, like that, for example, is cutting things out so you can find out more information. That's all you're trying to do. You're finding out more information about your body. Some of you might find that you digest fats amazingly and you fucking feel so alert. You feel amazing. You sleep better. You have better performance. You feel less bloated. That sounds like something pretty awesome. If it makes you feel fucking amazing, you're probably on the right track. Wow, I feel so much better. These migraines and this joint pain and this bloating that I've had for years disappeared. Probably should keep on going down that road. That's all I'm saying. That's where you start. That's why for those of you that are in Swoleormous X, we have the different breakdowns of keto and vegan. We have vegan recipes and stuff in X. We have, I don't promote carnivore, but like I have different types, paleo, keto. There's different approaches, but you have to figure out what works best for you. Because if you can stick to it and you can adhere to it, that's going to be better for you long term because you'd be consistent. My last podcast about kids, what would I suggest to pack for a kid's lunch? Real food. Real food. The same food that you would eat. Pack your children the same food that you would put in your mouth. All right? Why would you feed your kids differently? Why would you feed your kids candy and shit and then you would eat quality foods? What would you pack for your lunch? Give it to your kids. Done. Why don't you give your kids grass-fed beef? Why don't you give your kids some vegetables? Give your kids a sweet potato. Give your kids some fucking rice and chicken or something. Like, give your kids whatever food. Like, give your kids food that they're going to eat. That's real food. Feed them what you would eat. That's what I say. That's what I fucking say. Why are kids like, why is a 7-year-old magical creature that must drink Hawaiian punch and eat chips and goldfish? The fuck? Why would you feed kids worse? You feed kids terrible, but then when you're 30, you can start eating healthy. Barefoot squat feels better. Barefoot is better. You have to prepare. You have to build up to it. Someone joked about doing burpees while holding a baby. Gotcha. I was like, I don't think anyone's doing that. I don't think anyone's doing that while pregnant. Anon. I did an 8-week elimination diet 2 years ago. My body felt awesome being off anything packaged or processed during that time. My emotions were affected by the elimination diet as well. Well, psychological health is directly related to what you're eating. The gut-brain axis is important. If you're eating shit foods, why do you think people have so many mental issues in this country? There's so much mental instability, so much medication. It comes from the food. It's no exercise, and it's shitty fucking food. You're giving yourself chemicals. You think your brain's going to function well when you're pumping your body full of chemicals? It's not. You don't need studies for this. Yo, if you're just consuming shit fucking foods, you think your brain is going to function? You think your body all of a sudden, hey, well, it might not be good. If I eat these junk foods, it's going to give me a little pooch on my belly, but my brain's going to be fine. Fucking your brain is what's controlling digestion. Like your brain is controlling the release of hormones. Your brain is controlling fucking your hunger. Like that's what tells you that you're hungry. Fuck. Lifting in heels. I'm skipping all those comments. Fuck, that's just stupid Instagram crap, isn't it? The Gymshark girls have returned. Is rape oil? Rape oil. Rape comes in an oil now? Is rape oil good for cooking? I'm putting this on the screen. How many of you use rape oil? Who's raping oil? Rape oil. I love it. Rape oil. Holy shit. I agree. I was just fucking around with it. I know rapes, yeah. I don't know. I don't use it. I know about rapeseed. I know of it. I don't use it. I'm just fucking around. I was getting a bunch of messages. I'm just fucking around. Rape oil is the same as canola oil. Don't use that shit. Did I Google rape oil? No, someone's messaging me. Dash, people are more stupid than you think. Oh, I'm aware. My friend had a breakout and I said, well, what did you eat? And she's like, my diet is fine. I had a muffin and a chocolate, but that's it. But that's not it. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it. I ate garbage. Yeah, canola oil. Avoid. I know it's the same thing. I said, there's so much information out there. There's so many things, the same fucking thing. It's cool. I'm glad there are people that study. Look, I'm glad there are people that study nutrition, that want to read every last enzyme, that want to break down every last thing. I really am grateful for that. But like reading scientific research isn't like in terms of nutrition. I like it to accumulate, and I also like to try things with experience. I'm really curious I wonder if there's any real longitudinal studies. There's so much information out there and there's so many things we have to figure out. But I mean, for any of you that let me put it this way. The reason why I make the content the way I do, the reason why a lot of my content in terms of nutrition sounds general, it's because it doesn't need to be specific. It doesn't need to be like, oh, well, this enzyme, it doesn't need to be like Thomas DeLauer who cherry picks research and fucking takes complicated words to make a YouTube video. That's not helping people. If you get really hardcore into science, you start losing people because there's too much information. It's too confusing. Very few people have a fucking PhD in this shit and understand how to read research. So you can bullshit people with blog articles and throw around fancy titles and fancy studies and stuff. And it's not that there isn't good information. That's what science is. But if you use common sense and you approach your nutrition with a very fucking commonsensical approach, it's like you're not going to have, like, a lot of your issues are going to be solved. What are we talking about? Oh, we have a troll here? Nice. Luke, you can, tallow is nice. I use tallow to cook. I use tallow to cook my steak for the pan. Beef tallow is great. I use it. Let him. He's talking to himself. Doesn't matter. I will turn 53 in 17. I have to think. I'm trying to do math. 17 years? I'm going to look the same. I'm going to look sexy. Sexy as fuck. Just don't use coconut oil in your hair. I don't put coconut oil in my hair. I've done it before. Just too greasy. Greasy. Jojoba or jojoba. I call it jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is excellent. It's fucking excellent. Excellent. Excellent for your skin. I use that. Let's see. We got other questions here. Whoa. A lot of comments. I just got barraged with comments. I think I had a delay on my comment reader. I was like, no one's talking. All of a sudden I just got like 1,000. So I'm scrolling like crazy. Crazy. All right. So we're doing a Q&A, bro. If you got a question, it's all right. Let Luke ask a question. Everyone is welcome, but you will get blocked if you're just wasting fucking comment space. So if you got a question, bro, go for it. Chinese man stuck in a black man's body with some funny shit. It was fucking funny. People got really upset. Why does racism exist? Probably a defense mechanism. People are predisposed to protect themselves against danger, against the unknown. So when we're separate in our society and we're segregated to the point where people look different, you're always prejudicing. You're always judging. You're always scanning your surroundings. So if something looks different, then you're just fundamentally predisposed to, okay, warning, be careful. And then I think, of course, society and everything else perpetuates that and has grown from there. But on a fundamental level, different is be careful. Different is be wary. You see something you're not familiar with that looks different, you're going to be like, what's that? Coconut oil? I hear it's a good mask for your hair. I don't know. I'm not a hair expert. I look like I am. I got enough hair. I should be an expert. Whole eggs for good fats or cheese. I prefer pastured eggs. I don't eat cheese. I stay away from it. I was talking about a couple weeks ago, ate some cheese and kind of broke out a little bit, so I avoid it. I like whole eggs. If I eat eggs, I'm eating whole eggs. So what do you call reverse discrimination, where the actual racist use a term to light fire? We're going off the deep end. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough question. I'm not a racism expert, but I think we all see it. It's everywhere. It's pretty pervasive. But I think a lot of people exaggerate it too. It definitely exists. My chat's going fucking crazy. I'm trying to catch up to real time. How much water should one drink to prevent muscle cramps? That's going to be dependent upon your body mass, your exercise, your environment. So if you live, for example, in a humid climate or your dry climate, you're sweating a lot, you're exercising a lot, you might need more. it's totally normal to require more than a gallon a day. A gallon a day is very, very, very just shotgun. Like, hey, it's an easy round thing, a gallon a day. But if you're, let's 6'2" and you're 200 pounds, like you're going to need maybe some more water or a lot more water. If you're exercising hard, you're sweating a lot. Some people sweat a lot more than others, like profusely. You're doing yoga, you're exercising, you're going to need more water. So if you were cramping, I would drink more water. I get muscle cramps sometimes, and I think I drink more water than I do because I'm talking a lot. So right now, that's why we did the water break earlier. But a lot of times I'll be doing a lot of content and filming and doing stuff. I'm not just like sucking out of a bottle. So I have to remind myself and make sure that I drink and over drink. I have to focus on over drinking because then I'll usually hit my area. Oh, we do everything. We do everything on the podcast. Plus, it's my I'll talk about whatever the hell I want. We can go back to ball washing. We can talk about sack washing. We can talk about sack washing if you guys missed it. Too much water washes out electrolytes. Well, you could put some Celtic sea salt or something in there. I have never had a problem. I've never had a muscle cramp from drinking too much water. So you might be referring to like extreme overconsumption of water. I've never had an issue with muscle cramping personally with consuming water. But I also put some Celtic sea salt in my water. Have you heard of weightlifting naturally increasing your testosterone? Yeah. My testosterone has doubled in the last year since I started weightlifting. When did you measure your testosterone? When did you measure that? No stitches. It depends on when you measure it relative to a lifting workout, because if you measure it right after a hard workout, your testosterone could be lower because of your workout intensity. So it matters when you test your testosterone too. And I'm not a testosterone expert, so you can cross-check that or Google that a little bit more. What brand of Celtic sea salt do you buy? Celtic sea salt. I don't know if they're different kinds, but I buy it just says Celtic sea salt on it. The Selena Naturally, I believe it's called. I think. But just type in Celtic sea salt. That might be the actual name of the actual thing. I don't know if there's how many brands of it there are. I thought that was the brand, or that was I think that's the name. That is the brand. Dun, 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 dun. The difference between medicine and poison is the dosage. Potentially, sometimes you can have a little bit of poison and it fucks you up, and then a lot of it, sometimes it's just not good for you, period. But whether or not it's going to have an impact can vary. Have you ever done an extreme diet? Like what? I've cut out meat for a while because I was having nasty acid reflux when I was eating garbage chicken, like really not quality chicken, not quality meat. Did I block you, Jim Thomas? Obviously not, if your comments are showing up on the screen. Why would I block you? Were you saying dumb shit? What does one do when they lost 35 pounds on keto and works out in the gym every day and does the protein drinks and right now just levels off? I can't lose anymore. What does one do? Why don't you ask for you? You lost 35 pounds on keto because you cut out carbs. Okay, cool. And you're in a caloric deficit. Cool. And you work out in the gym every day. Cool. You do the protein drinks. I'd be careful because that can kick you out of ketosis. And right now, levels off. I can't lose anymore. I'm just gaining mass. I don't know what you're eating. Then you're probably eating too much. Don't you think? I don't know what you're doing. You're just saying, what does one do? Well, what are you trying to do? You're trying to lose more? Then eat less. A lot of these answers aren't complicated. It sounds almost like I'm trolling you. I think that's why when I do this content, a lot of this is it seems like I'm only almost giving trolling answers because a lot of the answers are so fucking simple. So fucking simple, or the questions are so vague that I can't really answer them because I don't know anything or everything or really anything about you rather than what you put in the question. Like it's like saying, how come I don't lose weight? I don't, how the fuck do I know? What do I know? Eat less, move more. So, I mean, it's hard without knowing everything about you, and there's no time for me, nor desire for me to break down everything in your life. But you really need a lot of information to understand why or what adjustments you can make. Can I do an episode or just talk about hormones? I am not a hormone expert. Cholesterol, cortisol, stress level hormones generally. What does it all mean for my fitness and overall health? Go to your doctor. Go to your doctor. There's a lot of information that shows, I mean, a lot of the standard medical tests aren't really accurate. They don't really show you accurate representations of, your longevity or your health, but you can get these specialized panels and blood panels done. You can go to these blood testing centers and have them sent away to different companies that will give you better ideas. Because when you go to, just in general, just to close out here, when you go and get blood work done, it's just a snapshot in time. Your body's always constantly changing. So a lot of times you need either other measurements or you need a profile of measurements over an extended period of time. That way you can see the trend, you can see the overall average and the pattern. Because if you just go and, let's say on a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., you go in and get blood work done, that's what was in your blood, like a snapshot at Tuesday at 9 a.m. Did you exercise hard the day before? Did you fast before that doctor's appointment? Did you drink the neighbor? I mean, there's a lot of different factors that can lead to what's in your blood at that moment and isn't necessarily accurate to your overall health. It could actually be skewed in the wrong direction depending on what you've been doing or what you did the day before leading up to that appointment, rather than give you accurate, but because you're fluctuating. When you don't eat, your body releases sugar, cholesterol, stuff like that. Your body has different elements in your bloodstream when you are in a fasted state versus when you're consuming food or after intense exercise and things of that nature. Guarande salt is really good. Never heard of it. Celtic sea salt is probably the best salt you can get. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I think most people overcomplicate things because there's so much information. And what's amazing about the human body is that you don't need to be a scientist for your body to work. Your body is working automatically. That's the cool part. But understanding every last enzyme and hormone, understanding what the mechanisms are. There's just so many fucking videos on YouTube that can get views. There's so much information in blogs and people will write about everything. But then what happens is, as a consumer, we all tend to that I need to gather all that information to make progress. And you certainly don't. You don't need all that information. You don't have to understand the mechanisms of the actual chemical structures and what they fucking do. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. That's really fucking ridiculous to think you have to know all that. So a lot of the questions that I get, it's fuck, people are asking questions that you just don't need to ask. It's so far above all of our pay grades. It's just not necessary to get the results that you want. What's your actual result? You want to lose weight? Then you don't need to worry about the details between fucking estrogen and the mechanisms of that. Just, you need to eat better food and sleep better and eat. Are you doing that? Are you getting to sleep at the best time every night consistently? And you're getting quality sleep every night. Are you eating in a proper caloric volume? Have you done an elimination diet? Are you exercising regularly? Are you meditating? Are you practicing yoga? Or have you been consistent with that for months and years? Are you actively pursuing, doing better in all those areas? Are you trying to do better? Are you focused on your health? Is that top priority for you, your family, and for your life? If not, then it's what are you worried about all this different science? Do you want a degree? Do you want to be a scientist? Do you want to go to medical school? It's cool. You can absolutely love research. You can absolutely love reading about this, but don't let it slow you down. People get paralyzed with too much information. And I agree. I think a lot of people are looking, I think a lot of people are looking for excuses to not do or looking for reasons why they don't have results. It's because I don't know about this enzyme. It's because I don't know about this mechanism in the body. Fuck. I don't know about a lot of mechanisms in the body. I forgot a lot of that shit. A lot of the stuff you learn in school is just not applicable. It's you learn about, okay, the blood, how it goes through the heart and how the capillaries just diffuse. And you learn about the hunger mechanisms and things like that. And that's okay. That's great. But day to day, it doesn't really apply. There's a lot of shit that just does not apply, especially when what do most people want? They want to look better. They want to feel better. They want to get rid of this discomfort. They want to get rid of that knee pain and the nagging back pain. They want to lose extra bloating. It's fuck, you don't need to be a scientist to do that. You don't need to be a scientist. And I will be honest, I think a lot of my content and the reason why I deliver my content the way I do is because I'm kind of resentful for my years of education, to be honest. I think I'm a little bit resentful for all the time that I spent and all the time that society and, with getting you personal training and teaching kids and teaching people to be personal trainers and all this stuff with fucking anatomy. A lot of it is great, but a lot of it is just fucking wasted time and information that takes up quality space without the actual real life applications. It's more about habit building. You want to get results. You want to get healthier. You want to build muscle. You want to lose weight. It's about habit building. That's all it is. It's not even the science aspect of it. That matters, of course. Science is just the facts that we're aware of, but it's really about building the habits that are actually going to get you fucking results. And we have all these, we ignore the habits. We ignore all the things. We ignore the fucking junk food on every fucking corner. We ignore the TV and the blue light and just throwing off our whole fucking sleep cycle. We ignore the stress. We're just shotgun blasted with distraction. And it's so fucking simple. And it's cool to have studies and it's cool to learn. I mean, knowledge is, it's power. But there's also a point where you don't need more than that. You need more action. You need more fucking shit. You need more that's why if you take the basics that I talk about all the time and you fucking do that and you master those, you're going to get amazing results. It's better to go and fucking master the basics than to be like, oh, I dabble in, 6,3 dihydroxy escapinase. When I cut down that out of my diet, that works. It's frustrating. It's really fucking frustrating. It's really frustrating. So I think it's just, honestly, I'm starting to think about this a little more like from my meditations and just stuff like overall, just like looking like third person looking at how I deliver my content and just like the way I think. I think a lot of it is just me being resentful for having student loans and having gone through all that stuff and realizing like, you fucking assholes trying to make me believe that all this fucking stuff is actually relevant. Luckily, I took that information, that knowledge, and that experience with reading studies and doing research papers. And okay, I actually used it in my career. Like it's applicable to what I do now, but only because I did my own thing. It's only because I fucking created Swoleormous, which is why all this information has been applicable. So I'm passing along to you, but man, if I was just just a personal trainer and just doing that, fuck, you don't need 95% of it. It's ridiculous. But it's not sexy. Hey, you need to do an elimination diet, but I don't want to restrict myself, so don't do it. Oh, you need to sleep better, but the show comes on at 11. Then don't fucking go to sleep. Oh, you have to drink more water. Oh, but it's so hard. Then don't do it. Yeah, you should be eating meals and bring your food. Oh, but it's so hard to prep meals. What do I do? Then don't fucking do it. You have to exercise. Oh, but it's so hard. I can only go here, but what can I do? Can I do this at home? Do I have to go to the gym? Do I have to lift heavy? Then don't fucking do it. It's like, look, if you're going to complain and you're going to complain and nitpick and this, it's hard fucking work. You want to build muscle, you want to lose weight, you have to change. It's hard work. You have to build muscle and you have to train hard and push yourself and lift heavier, and it's going to hurt and it's going to burn. You have to tell your body to go fuck itself and do 5 more reps and push it and then do another set and do it on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and do it for months and years over and over again. Eat food. Don't go out drinking. Don't fucking go out and hang out when you could be going to the gyms. Like you go there. Yeah, it doesn't have to ruin your fucking life. It's a part of your life. But it's not going to happen overnight and it takes time. People want it to be easy. It's not easy. So fucking get over it. That's all I got to say today. Thank you so much, fam, for joining me for episode 1220 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in Zarel. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Tomorrow, accountability meeting at 12 noon Eastern time for everyone inside Swoleormous X, and for Daily Swole Club members, accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon. New releases tomorrow I will discuss, and I'll be addressing some of your challenges and things that you've posted on the comments and the post in the private group. And I'll see you tomorrow for 1221. Peace, McGee, Snooze, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.